question of the day is, when do we know when to replace the string or replace the servings on the string? You should have them evaluated every year because strings can last several years. However, they have to be taken care of. I've never known a string to fail you because you waxed it too much. So make sure that you wax the string. When I say wax, I mean wax it the fibers, not the serving, because when you put wax on the serving, it causes it to separate. You want that serving to bite the string. So make sure that you wax the fibers, and when I say wax it, you put a little bit of wax on there, and you get it built up, and then you work it in with your fingers till they get warm. And then now what that does is it impregnates the string. It gets down into the fibers. And I'd say do that, every couple of weeks, depending if you get caught in a rain hunting. Actually let the string dry out and wax it immediately. If you're dragging it through a lot of briars, a lot of people, depending on how they hold their bow, it's rubbing up against their clothing, it's rubbing up against just brush and weeds and stuff like that, and it's going to take that wax out of it. So if it's looking a little frayed and tattered, you make sure that you wax it up good. Now servings, it's just a visual thing. Check the servings in the wraps of the cam for any separations. Your center serving is probably going to be the one that goes out first. With the incorporation of a D-loop, that rarely happens anymore, but it still can, depending on the manufacturer of the string. These are first strings. There's a lot of good manufacturers out there. We prefer first strings, and they're absolutely good and solid, real good servings, but they still can wear out. So make sure that you check your servings. If there's separations in your center serving and the string looks good, absolutely just replace the serving. Go on, get you another couple years out of it. But another thing is sometimes from the string moving back and forth, it breaks like a copper wire. You can take the string, and if how do I know if the string's broke underneath there? Whether you can take the serving off and look, or you spin it like this, and if your string has any wave to it like a snake, and that's in any portion, then there's probably strands breaking underneath there. And a lot of people say, well, I only got 2 strands broke because you nicked it with a broadhead or something. If you broke a strand, I would suggest replacing that string because it's going to stretch. People say, well, I've got 18 strands left because I only broke 2 strands. Well, a string is one continuous strand, meaning it's a one continuous loop. It has 20 strands, 18 strands to it. So if you break a strand, you broke that loop down, and it's going to continue to stretch, and it's going to change. It's going to affect your tuning. So wax your string often, just the string, not the servings. Check your servings, replace as needed, and every year or two, make sure that you let someone with a trained eye look at that string to evaluate if it needs replacing because of breakage underneath the serving. So your string is your lifeline. Make sure you keep it up.